Hello guys. Welcome to another tutorial of how to make a game like Agario. In this video, we will implement viruses to the game, and script it too. So let's get into Unity. We will start by making the shape of the virus. Go right-click on the hierarchy and create a new 2D object. And go into the sprite renderer. Then change the color to something look fine on a virus. Then go and add a collider for it, hit add a new component, and search for circle collider. If you go and change the color to dark, you will be able to see the collider edge. And then rename the object to virus. Awesome. Now, go create a new script for our virus. Inside of scripts folder, create a new C# script and name it virus. Double-click on it to open it in Visual Studio. Delete the two naming tags and the two methods start and update. We will use a method called onCollisionEnter2D. This method will be called whenever the object that have this script collide with anything. So first of all, we will check if the collision tag was equals to player. Then one of our player balls is colliding with a virus, and if that is happening, then we will just destroy game object to test if it working. Go inside of virus object, and add the virus script that we have just created to it. Awesome. Now let's get back into Visual Studio. What we gonna do is bomb our player. Let's start by getting the player game object variable. Game object player is equals to collision.gameObject. Then we want to decrease the player size, and also we want to instantiate a new balls when colliding with a virus. To decrease the player size, player.transform.localScale is divided equals to some kind of value. I have found that putting the player x scale value here would be great, so the size of balls will be equals to 1 always, and that is fine. It look kind of a punishment for the player if he collide with a virus. And to instantiate a new balls, we first want to know how many balls to instantiate, so the bigger the player is, the more balls we instantiate, and that mean, how many balls to instantiate is equals to player x scale. Of course you should convert the value from float to an integer, but, as you can see, we are dividing our player scale before getting this variable, and that will always equals to 1. 1 ball when colliding with a virus. To fix this, change its position and put it above a little, so we will get player x scale value, and then after that we decrease the size of our player. So, to instantiate a new balls, we will use for loop function. Put how many balls to instantiate so it will repeat the code inside of it depending on the value of how many balls to instantiate, and inside of for loop function, we will instantiate the player, and give the position of the player, and quaternion.identity, to ignore the rotation, and always when instantiating a new ball we want to put it in a variable. So let's create a new list of game objects. To create a new list of game objects, we will need to include some of Unity functions. Go at the top and say that we are using system.collections.generic, then, list of game objects is equals to a new list of game object. And then, write instantiated balls.add, and put parentheses between the instantiate process. Or store it in a new game object variable and then add it to the list of new balls. So after that, we will apply a force for each ball of the new balls, but before that we will rotate the balls so it won't go all at the same direction. To rotate the balls we need to understand some stuff about a circle. In math, the half circle is 180 degrees, the circle degree should be 360. That means, if you go and rotate an object, at the z rotation, it will go and rotate whole the way until it reach 360 degree at the z, so it back to face its original rotation. Well, why do we need to understand that? Because we are going to rotate the new instantiated balls to face the surrounding space. Let's say that one of our player's ball got bombed into a virus, and 6 balls was instantiated because of the virus. Then we divided the circle degree by 6, we will get 60. If we apply the 60 to the first ball, it will go in a direction, and if we increase the rotation by 60, we will get 120. So again, we apply the 120 to the second ball, it will go in another direction, and this will keep happening depending on how many balls to instantiate until we reach 360 degree. Means we will have balls goes in all direction. Awesome. So let's store the circle degree in a variable. Then we make another float variable and make it equals to circle divided by how many balls to instantiate, and an integer to know how many times we have applied the rotation. Make a game object variable equals to the instantiated object I. So now let's apply the rotation. b.transform.rotation is equals to quaternion.Euler, and give 0 at the x and 0 at the y. Then give the underscore rotation multiplied with current rotation, and finally, whenever applying the rotation, we will increase the current rotation. Just drag this code above a bit. Now applying. Let's go and take a look of the split force method to understand what's happening there. In the split force method, we are applying the rotation once this method is called, and this is not something we want, because we are already rotating the player in the virus script. So, to apply the force, we will drag the code inside of for loop method, then for each ball, b.getComponent of type circle collider.enabled as equals to false. And b.getComponent of type player movements.lock actions as equals to true, because we don't want the player to control the balls when getting bombed. And also we should reset the speed and enable the force. But we are disabling the split force script into the split force method when the speed is less than 0. So we will enable the script after setting it up. And, up here, you might notice that the instantiated balls list doesn't have the player ball that was interacted with the virus, so let's just add it here. Nice. So now go into Unity, and we are ready to test it. The player size is 3, so we got only 3 balls. I am going to increase the player size. As you can see, we got only 5 balls, because inside of the mass spawner we are allowing the player to jump only 5 times. Let's increase to 99. Awesome. Now to make things more fun, I will play with the split force values. Now you might notice that once our player touches the virus, he bomb up, and that is fine, but kind of weird. To fix it, go to the virus and change the color to dark, so you can see the collider edge. Reduce the radius of the virus to something low, so once our player is on the half of the virus, the method of collision will be triggered. Now make a prefab for the virus, because we might make a virus spawner into the next videos. Drag the virus to the project files, and to make things look nicer, I have downloaded this free image from the internet, so we can use it into this game. Don't worry, It is for free, I guess. So just drag the image for the virus and change the scale until you are satisfied. And right-click on the blue areas, then hit Save to Prefab Virus. Position the virus on 0.1 on the z-axis so it won't be covering our player. And that is it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to support our channel, and ring that notification button so you won't miss the new ones. Without further ado, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.